Shelter. Many years ago, the Croat broke the girl, who, according to him, was sent by the kingdom, disobeying a direct order to let her go free. Negan and Simon see the bloody results of the Horvath trial, the process during which the location of the weapons cache in the hilltop was discovered. During the process, the girl is tied to a chair, from which blood flows, with wounds on her arms, legs, throat and head. Simon reminds the Slavic psycho that children are a trait that we don't cross. The Croat smiles and shrugs. And just like he told Maggie, he had one chance. Alone, missed. Shot off his ear. I haven't seen or heard from him since. In the present tense, Negan, Maggie, and Maya and Tomaza are preparing an attack on the Croats' hideout. No one can find Luther, who died during a confrontation with Negan in the kitchen, so it is decided that he escaped. Negan quickly packs a jar of Luther's beeswax into his bag. Negan confesses to Maggie that he is not ready to meet the Croat. It's just starting to feel too familiar. As if he starts talking, it won't be him at all. It will be an echo of some song that I don't want to hear anymore, Negan admits. Maggie remembers the time when her son Herschel was very young. Above them lived a man named Amos, who played the harmonica even at night. When talking to him didn't help, Maggie confesses, the next time he went hunting, I snuck into his room. I stole an accordion, went and buried it in the ground. Grinning, Negan retorts that Maggie has lost a couple of scout badges for this. She replies, yes, but I'm sure you would have buried it in a much worse place. He asks if she has seen his matchbox. She's lying. On the streets of New York, Maggie and Negan move in with the Amai and Tomaza tribe. The sewer is bubbling with methane. When they get on the subway, no one notices Ginny walking behind. The group makes its way along the zombie-polluted tracks of a long-abandoned subway to get to the old Penn Station, from where you can get to the Croats' new hideout, Madison Square Garden. Making her way through abandoned cells, Maggie frantically checks every room, but finds nothing but empty chairs and blood-spattered walls. At the end of the hallway, Maggie steps on a fresh trail of blood on the floor. The prisoner is a young guy, black hair, head down. Blood is pouring from his hands and feet. Negan examines the zombie boy. It's not him, Maggie sighs. It's not Herschel, but this is someone's child, and Negan subdues him with a knife to the brain. They are developing a plan. Maggie steals the car, and Negan lures the Croat into the garage. While Maggie and Negan are lured by Croats across half the city, and Maya and her people will deal with Barassi. You'll get your baby. We'll kill the psychopath. Everyone will get a prize. Maggie and Negan make their way into the bowels of the arena. Picking up Negan's matches, she asks if he has figured out how to lure the Croat to show himself. Negan is confident that their plan will work. We'll get your boy back. She is about to tell him about Ginny's dinosaur when she suddenly sees him. A jar of Luther's beeswax is in Negan's bag. He tries to explain, but Maggie fights him off. Don't pretend like you've never done what needs to be explained, Negan tells her, but they don't have time to figure out what Negan did to Luther. Inside the arena, Negan lures the Croat out with a whistle, the whistle of the saviors. While this is happening, Maggie sneaks into a taxi and tries to start it, then quickly disappear. Noticing Ginny nearby, Maggie goes after her, and they find themselves in the arena, where people about Maya expected to find Barassi Horvath. When Negan approaches the garage, the Croat whistles in response. Suddenly, the arena comes alive with lights, canisters explode at the entrance to the arena, turning it into a deadly trap, and a horde of walkers pour in. There is no way out. Every exit is crawling with dead people, hunters turned into prey. With melee weapons, Maggie's chain belt, wrenches, blades, the survivors make their way through the horde, but not everyone manages to get out alive. People are being torn apart and devoured. As Maggie makes her way through the crowd, a walker grabs Amaya and almost bites her, but she fights him off. Tomaza is surrounded and disappears into the crowd of walkers. Returning to the garage, Negan evades the search for Barassi, but Horvath notices him. In the arena, Maggie, Amai, and Scavenger lock themselves in a cage with Ginny. Using a technique that Maggie learned while clearing prison fences, the women strike at the walkers pressed against the cage. She can't stand it. The four of them tear the soft panels from the arena cage and fall inside. They move as one, in a Spartan formation, making their way through the horde and piercing the brains of walkers as they move towards the exit. The scavenger is torn off and eaten alive, and the same fate almost befalls Amaya, until she is rescued by Tameza, who takes the 3 survivors out of the arena. On the rafters above, the Croat overtakes Nigan and meets him with an unexpected reaction, joy. "Nigan! My brother!" The Croat rejoices, laughing at his shot ear. He explains that Jerome's former savior told him about the war with Hilltop, the Kingdom, and Alexandria, which ended with Rick Grimes ending Negan's rule. "I should have been there. I can only imagine the damage Simon did." "He never listened to you," says Horvath. "It's okay that you lost the shelter, because I built a new one. And we will continue. We will build something bigger, stronger. The whole island will become our refuge, fueled by death in its depths." Negan demands to see the captured Croat, and is surprised to see Marshal Pulley Armstrong instead of Herschel. The Croat presents a gift to the pursuer of Nigan and shows with a gesture that he is acting in the spirit of friendship and brotherly love. Horvath throws Armstrong across the track and drops him onto the platform below. Not letting Zakonik fall backwards, Negan helps him up, and they run away together. Downstairs, Maggie, Ginny, Amai and Tameza descend into the only escape route, the sewer, which, as Omya warned, is filled with dead people and methane gas. Tameza goes down the stairs to the sewer, followed by Omya and Ginny. Maggie nods, letting the girl know that everything is fine. She's right behind them. Maggie closes the door behind her as best she can and goes down the stairs, disappearing into the pitch darkness. Elsewhere, Nigan and the lame Armstrong are settling into a shoe repair shop. Negan thinks they're together, but Armstrong pointed his gun at the fugitive. He quotes the codes that Negan violated under the laws of the New Babylon. Code 14, Section 2. Premeditated murder is defined as first-degree murder and is punishable by execution. For the murder of the magistrate and 4 other people, Nigan will be put to death without trial. But not without what may be my last words. Well, you scum. The end of the 4th series. As soon as this video gets 1,000 likes and 100 comments, I'm releasing a sequel.